I'm Idiotech, and this is You Should Play, a series where I show you games that I'm enjoying because you might enjoy them also. Today's game is Ancestors Legacy. It's brought to you by Destructive Creations, the people behind a game you might know called Hatred. It was a little controversial back in the day, and I'm glad to see that the developers have moved on to more serious projects and trying to be a more serious studio. This game, really good. Okay, Ancestors Legacy is $45 US. It's an RTS. Basically take Vikings and medieval warfare and combine it with Company of Heroes and add a few little twists and turns here from every other RTS ever made, and that's what you have. Now, it doesn't break new ground, so if you don't like RTS, this isn't going to change your mind, but if you do like RTS and you like single-player campaigns in RTS and you like a good skirmish versus the AI, this game has got you. It's a really, really enjoyable experience. I've been playing it for 15 hours so far this week, and I've had a great time. So, first things first, options menu for one reason and one reason only. Controls, key bindings, you can rebind, okay? Important for an RTS, that's it. Okay, let's jump back into single player. So, we have single player, we have skirmish, and we have multiplayer. One criticism I have of this game, and it's not the game's fault, is the fact that there are not many games being played, if any. And that's because the game hasn't sold particularly well. Which is a shame, because it's a decent game. It's not the best RTS I've ever played, it's not StarCraft 2. But it's a good game, and if you like RTS, and you're looking for some variety, this game has a lot to offer. So that's a problem. You may be able to find games, I have found a few, but they are few and far between. If you do have a friend and you want to pick this up when it's on sale or something, and you want to play against each other, that's probably a good way to go, okay? However, the AI in Skirmish is really good. You know, I haven't had a huge amount of time with the game. I've played it for like 15 hours or so there may be some cheesy tactics I can employ to, you know, screw over the AI. But so far, it's been challenging, it's been enjoyable and unpredictable, which is what you want from AI. Let's jump into the campaign quickly and I'll explain how it works. First of all, we have 4 factions: Vikings, Anglo-Saxons, Germans, and Slavs. So, the way it works is this. You complete the first 4 chapters of the Viking campaign here, and then they're essentially tutorial chapters, and then you unlock everything else, which is really cool. I like it when RTS allow me to just pick the faction I want to play and play it. I don't necessarily want to have to play through all the Viking stuff and all the Anglo-Saxon stuff to get to the German stuff, for example. Other games in the past have done that. I commend them for doing it this way. So once you've completed these first 4 chapters, you then have access to everything else in the game. We have 2 campaigns under Vikings, 2 campaigns under Anglo-Saxons, 1 under Germans, and 1 under Slavs. Now, these coming soon tabs, that's free. That's free content. It's going to be coming relatively soon. So that's cool. You don't have to pay for that stuff. It's just coming later. So far we have 30 missions, and each mission can last anywhere between 30 minutes and an hour. So there's a decent amount of content here. Not only that, but they took the time to do cutscenes, voice acting, a relatively decent story. Each campaign has its own unique twist on the story. For example, this one is about a drunken, womanizing lord who shows up in town and decides to cause some chaos, which ends up creating sort of a civil war. It's kind of funny in a way, it's kind of serious in a way. It's cool. This deals with the Viking invasion of Lindisfarne and blah, 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 blah. They each have their own unique campaigns. They're cool. I'll jump in and show you a couple of cutscenes in the early stages of one of them as we get towards the end of this video. What I want to do first is jump into Skirmish, and the reason I want to do this is so I can demonstrate the mechanics of this game and how it works to you. So, we have 2 game modes, Annihilation and Domination. Domination is a basic ticket system. It counts down the more territory you control, you know, the faster the enemy's tickets count down and then you win. Annihilation is classic RTS. Go destroy the other guy's base. One criticism I do have is there aren't as many maps as I would like. You have 1v1, 2v2, and 3v3 maps. You can play alongside the AI, so if you're concerned about that, don't be. And the AI is very competent. When you push the enemy, they will come with you. They're pretty good. Okay, so we have 4 maps for 1v1, which is what I'm going to show you. So I'm going to pick... let's pick this one. Let's just pick the first one. Now, you can change various things here, like starting tier, technology stuff, resources, weather. There is weather in the game, and a day-night system, which does allow you to stealth somewhat. And there is tall grass in the game, which allows you to stealth as well, which is kind of a cool mechanic. All right, let's jump in. Now, you'll have to bear with me because there are a lot of things to explain. I'm going to play against the easy AI so that it's easier for me to explain this stuff while playing. However, I am at the moment dealing with medium. I've just gotten to the point in my skill level where I'm able to routinely beat medium, which is nice because initially I couldn't and they were just stomping me. But I'm starting to understand the game pretty well and get a good feel for things, and my build orders are sort of starting to be semi-decent. So I've got a good idea of what I'm doing, and I'm able to beat the AI on medium pretty consistently. However, hard is impossible for me right now. This game's AI is challenging. However, if you're a noob, you're a casual RTS fan, easy's fine. Play the game on easy. You'll have a lot of fun. Okay, so I'm going to pick my faction. My faction is going to be Vikings. Now I'm going to pick this because this is the most basic faction. It's the one you start out the game with. It's easy to demonstrate. However, there are 4 factions and they all have different benefits. For example, the Vikings here, they're good at melee combat, but they don't have cavalry, which is a huge downside if you want to try and flank people. You can see all the stats and bonuses here. You can pause the video if you want to look at them. But each faction is different. Because of the setting, it's not like the difference you would see in StarCraft between Protoss and Zerg, for example, right? There isn't a huge amount of variety between the two, but each faction does have its own flavor and play style, and you will quickly realize which ones you like and don't like. So it's not just like they're all the same with reskins or whatever. So you can have a look at the different things here. The Slavs are very powerful. They have like supreme ranged units. They have arrow rain, good mobility, good light cavalry. They're pretty good, right? They seem really powerful, but they have no heavy infantry. They have late access to technologies, poor morale, which is important in this game, slow experience game, which is very important in this game, and expensive food upkeep, which again, important in this game. So they all seem relatively balanced to me so far. So let's jump into Vikings, and we'll show you how this game works. Okay, so the game has begun, and we have a unit of spears. What I'm going to do is look here. Now you see this portrait around this building? That's silver. You see this portrait around this building? Oh, we can't see it right now because I don't have vision on it, but trust me, it's bronze. In the early game, your goal is to capture settlements. These sectors on the map you can see here, C, D, A, B, F, E. This is just like Company of Heroes if you played that game. You capture the sectors and then that gives you access to its resources. You need those resources, as you can see down here, wood, food, and iron, to be able to build structures and units. So the first thing I'm going to do is send these guys over here to attack this structure so we can occupy some territory. I'm going to go back over here and I'm going to hotkey my town hall to 3. I'm going to build a barracks because we need it to produce units. I'm going to hotkey that to 4. Now, these are basic RTS controls. You can hotkey just the way you would expect in any RTS, control 1, 2, 3, 4, whatever, right? So I'm going to select this group, I'm going to control 1, and you can see the 1 next to them, and they're attacking this. By the way, can I just point out, this game is very pretty. Like, very pretty. For an RTS, it's a damn good looking game, man. It's a damn good looking game. Okay, so we're capturing this settlement now. Our units have taken some damage. If we sent those to capture D, I've learned this from experience, they would die. You need at least 2 units to capture D. So you start off by capturing C. Okay, our barracks is complete. Let's build another unit of spears. And we're going to send them up here to back up these guys. Okay, so we also want to build some tents. This is just like Warcraft. If you played Warcraft 3, for example, you have to build houses to be able to home people. It's just supply, right? So we have wood, food, iron, and supply. Now, an interesting mechanic regarding food. If your food drops negative, I think it's like -20, you see negative income there, -20, you're going to have a problem with morale. This white bar above your unit's head is your morale. If that drops, you're more likely to die. Basically how this game works, which is good. And also, you become very slow and sluggish. This button here allows me to refill my troops. Okay, let's attack these guys. How dare you try and attack my settlement? Now, what we just did there was a charge, and you can see I actually knocked people over. You can also zoom all the way into combat and have a look at how they're fighting there. It's pretty cool. There's some nice animations going on there. Nice deaths, blood, gore, blah, blah, blah. That's cool. And now they're fleeing, which is nice. That's what we want. We don't want them to be here. So I'm going to pause here, and you'll see these 2 buttons, okay? We have Muddy Pit Trap, and we have Spike Trap. I'm going to build a trap on the edge of this bridge. So if they try and come across again, what's going to happen is they're going to fall into the trap and die. This is cool. It allows you to build defensive structures to protect your settlements. All right, let's move back. I'm going to move these guys back here, and you can drag with the right mouse button to set formations of some degree. They're not like crazy detailed formations, but you can put them in relative shapes and get some sense of formation. You can also individually micro your units, which is nice. Now I'm going to activate the shield stance, which will make them more defensive and allow them to protect themselves against charges. So if units come back through here, they're going to hit this pit and then charge into these dudes and die. These guys over here, I'm going to take them for a little bit of a scouting mission down to D. I'm also going to build some more spearmen, and I'm going to send them over here. So hopefully we can assault D and capture its resources. Now, this building here, hopefully we don't die while I'm explaining this, by the way. You're supposed to play this game a lot faster than I'm currently playing it, so I might die, okay? Okay, so this building here, we want its resources. On the map here, you can see a food icon and a tree icon, but we don't own them. What we have to do is make peasants, build peasants to go get them. So we can click this, and that will do that for us. We can also make our building more secure by adding extra troops to garrison it, and we can build these towers around, which is kind of cool. Okay, I don't know why this guy's going over here. Oh, my rally point was screwed up, I guess. Okay, and we can tell these units to run. Certain units have certain abilities. For example, these can do a defensive circle. You can also put torches on. Okay, there's so many things to explain. I'm going to stick the torches on this guy. What it does is increase his line of sight, which is kind of important, you know, at night, which it is now, but it makes you easy to see. Okay, these guys need to leave, run away, flee. I was hoping to attack simultaneously, but instead I'm going to have to flee and tell these guys to go back home. You can stop fleeing now. You can stop fleeing now. Guy, you don't have to be so afraid. Okay. And now we're going to replenish. And so what this does is it takes some time, it builds his morale back up, and it starts to bring troops out and reform the group, which is nice. You can replenish units, you know. Just like Company of Heroes if you played that. Okay, so we've taken this down and we're capturing it. So what we had to do over here was we had to tell peasants, essentially, pay for peasants to go out and farm these resources. Food over here and lumber over here. And that's how we get our income. Now, one interesting thing is that, you know, when this gets too low, your morale starts to drop, and that can really hurt you. So you do have to manage that. Also, I don't have enough buildings right now to recruit new troops, and I also want to increase to technology tier 2. This is a general tab. Okay, they just fell into the trap, which is nice, and now we're going to charge them. Don't you kill my trap. Okay, so that's cool. They took half their health off. So that's a nice way to defend yourself early game. Later, you can build these towers, and that's cool too. So I'm going to build another one because I want to protect the settlement. I'm just going to do a mud trap because that's all I can afford, because I think it requires iron to make this one. No, it requires more wood than we had. Okay, so these guys are going to go back up here and defend this. There you go. No food left, morale failing. So I have too many units on the field and not enough food. So we need to solve that problem by sending people out to mine food and ore and wood, which is what I'm doing from this structure. And I'm going to replenish these troops because they got low. You can also level up your troops. There's a ton of stuff to talk about. I'll do my best to explain it to you as we play. Okay, and then we have spearmen over here, which I think I'm going to send down here to defend as well. Temporarily. Okay. Yep. That should be fine. And we're starting to get resources. Can you replenish, please? You can also heal, so you take damage as well. So not only do your troops die, but the ones that are alive take damage before they die, and you can heal that up using the healing camp. You'll see all this as we play. Okay, so this is defending this. We could create better defenses here, but I don't really feel the need to. What I will do is come down here and build a trap on this path, because it's usually the way they come. Now, I should talk about night, because you can turn your torches on to get better line of sight. However, if you don't do that, obviously you're harder to spot, which is cool. You can also sneak through the bushes, which is a nice mechanic, something you might have seen in League of Legends, for example. You can hide in bushes, which is cool, and you can do stealth attacks and sneak around and flank and do all sorts of stuff like that. On top of that, we have combat mechanics like charging. When you charge, it does damage to the morale, and it gives them an initial hit of damage, does extra damage, basically. You can also flank from behind. Now, there is an option in the menu to turn on notifications for all these events, but I found it kind of annoying after a while, so I decided to turn it off. Okay, let's build a spike trap here. And once that's built, we can back off. This area is pretty easy to defend down here. This area, not so much. Now, what we want to do now is push up and try and get A and B if we can. Also, another thing to tell you about, we have this down here, armor. This will increase the armor of a specific unit. You have to do this on every single individual unit, and you can upgrade it 3 times. Also, next to the number 1 here, you see a little circle that's starting to complete itself. That's the level of experience that unit has. The more experience they have, the more damage they do, and you can actually upgrade the units. Oh shit, we're being attacked. You can actually upgrade the units and give them various stat boosts to defense or speed or damage. Okay, let's build that. I want to build an archery range, but I don't quite have enough metal, so I'm going to wait for that. And you can see this portrait around this guy has changed to silver, and it's got some fancy curls and stuff on it. That means he's got tier 1 armor. Okay, we have technology. We don't want the frenzy on the berserkers. I do want the archery range, because I would like some archers. Aha, there we go. We just leveled up. This unit just leveled up here, and you can see the star. So if I click this, specialization, you'll see defensive, offensive, and speed. These are the choices. Now, depending on your situation, you can pick different things. In this case, I'm going to pick offensive. It gives them slightly extra damage numbers. There we go. He fell in a trap and died. Ha ha. My plan worked. Okay, so that's that. We're going to put those guys there. We're going to tell them to heal up. And I'm going to go over here. Where's my archery range? There it is. I'm going to hotkey that to 5. Okay, so now we have archers, which is sweet. Archers are good. Everyone likes archers. I'm going to build another tent. I'm also going to build a place of cult. This is a church for other factions. It basically over here gives you various buffs. Burn down buildings faster, increase movement speed, attack power increase. They're runes and you can trigger them when you have enough points. Okay, and we're going to build another unit. No, we're not going to build another unit of spears. I'm going to wait to build archers. We need more metal to build archers. That's fine. I'll wait. I'm happy to wait. This is a game of patience. Okay, so we have a mud trap here. This is fine. What we do need to do, though, is send this guy up to A and try and take A. These guys are coming in here to attack, which is fine. We're ready for that. Are they? Or are they just going to stand on the other side of the bridge? They might be waiting for backup. We could actually charge them ourselves, but at the moment, I just want to defend this area. I'm also going to build a tower here. This 3rd watchtower I'm building. You can build 3 watchtowers around each structure, and they're filled with archers, and they will shoot at the enemy, which is very useful. Okay, here they come. They're going to get rid of the trap. We don't want you to get rid of the trap. Charge. Okay, so we got the charge bonus. Once your unit charges, you cannot give it other orders. So I can't tell these guys to back away, like in many RTS games. The only way I can do that is to retreat, which is an interesting mechanic. Okay, so I'm going to give this guy defensive as well. And you see the little swords next to their icons there? That means I've upgraded them to offensive. They'll do slightly more damage, and you can see that watchtower is taking them out there. Now, they are running away, which is a problem because the longer they keep these guys alive, the more experience they get. As you can see, my unit's a level 2 here. So you do want to try and kill them. Unfortunately, it's quite difficult unless you have archers. Okay, my unit up here has captured this structure, which is what I want. And I think I should be able to finally build archers, which I am able to. And so what I'm going to do is send those guys over here. Archers are amazing. I can also build berserkers. And I think I would like to do that, but I'm concerned about my food supplies. So I'm just going to wait. I'm also going to build a well. Now, a well exists for one reason and one reason alone. Once the enemy enters your base, this is your actual base, they'll start to burn structures down. And a well allows the civilians who live there to put out the fires and stop your structures from being destroyed, which is a nice feature. Okay, so we have burn down buildings faster. Okay, so we'll wait. Let's see how you're going. So our food's getting a little low. Yeah, that's a little too low for me. So, okay, this guy's here. You are not burning down my building, sir. Now, this AI is very easy, right? And the reason I put it on easy was so that I could explain these mechanics to you. But there's a lot of basic stuff you'd expect from any RTS here. But there are some nice things, like the ability to, for example, upgrade all these things, give them armor upgrades, give them levels and have XP and all these things. These are all things that exist in other RTS, but it's well done. I love the archers. Now, different archers have different abilities. You've got activatable abilities here. I do like the charging mechanic and the fact that you can flank behind enemy units with cavalry and things like that and do extra damage. Shit, retreat, retreat, retreat. Why did you chase them? You should never have chased them. You silly man. All right. I'm not going to invest money into peasants here because I feel very strongly that the enemy is just going to come and take this back, which is not something I want. Okay. We'll take some archers. These guys can stay here. And they can shoot as they please. I'm going to upgrade this guy's armor because he's on my front line. All right, you go there. And you go there. Okay, we're being attacked again. That's fine. Now, we missed the charge there. So they got the charge bonus on us, which took away a significant portion of our health, which was not good. Also, your archers have a tendency to kill your own units, which can be a problem. When you upgrade them, you can upgrade their accuracy to reduce that, which is kind of nice. But you see, the archers almost killed those dudes there, which is kind of nice. Okay, I'm going to charge these guys because I see them coming. May as well get that charge bonus. See, you see the health just drop off? That's what charge does for you. Also, if you flank them, you get the same thing. It's nice. Okay, and archers, will you get him? Almost. Almost. Please don't chase them. Don't want you to chase them. So yeah, that's basically it. You upgrade these buildings, you secure them, you build fortifications around them, you collect more resources, you go over here, you unlock various technologies, you know, you can increase the veterancy of your spears, increase their health, increase the fire rate of the bows, which I'll do now. You can build various structures. The blacksmith allows you to produce, in this case, in the Viking faction, ballista, but also catapults, which is nice as well, and different factions. And that's it, man. You just run around the map, and you kill dudes, and you play an RTS. And honestly, it's fun. I've been having a great time playing this game. It's beautiful. It sounds good. It plays well. It's strategic enough. It's not so hardcore that it's like alienating for like 90% of people out there. You know, this is not StarCraft. It's far more like Company of Heroes in that way. I've enjoyed the game immensely. I really, really have. I'm going to back out now because you understand how the mechanics work. I'm going to show you a brief introduction to one of the campaigns, show you how it works, what the voice acting and story is like, and then we'll call it there. Okay, confirm. Jump out of there. So yeah, but just be aware that was easy AI, okay? Easy. Play it on medium, you'll get your ass kicked, trust me. Okay, you have these levels and stuff. Now, they recently just patched this in, so if you're playing against the AI, you actually level up as well. Doesn't do anything. I think it's just for, I don't know, progression, the sake of progression. All right, so we'll continue. Okay, let's go single player, let's go to campaign. Okay, so I'm going to pick the Germans. Okay, we'll do chapter 1. Let's play the campaign. I'll let you listen to the introduction.
The life of Frederick II to this day is considered scandalous and unorthodox. His unyielding temperament and lifetime struggle with papal power led to numerous brawls within the country, granting him the nickname of an Antichrist. Ironically, despite being excommunicated fourfold, skeptic King Frederick II met his death peacefully among the habits of Cistercian monks in 1250, what forever ended the line of the House of Hohenstaufen. The king's death threw the country into a stupor, universally called the Great Interregnum, the time when no king could achieve enough recognition to consolidate the country's holdings under one ruler, leaving Germany in a state of permanent civil war for almost 20 years. The tide of this 20-year-old dismay changed when the biggest beneficiary of Germany's disorder, Count Rudolf von Habsburg, used his wealth and connections with the abbots to make himself a firm candidate for the kingship. To seal his coronation, Rudolf promised the renunciation of the imperial rights to the Pope and promised a new crusade to Pope Gregory X, a former adversary of Frederick II. As a result, Rudolf I of Germany was crowned in Aachen Cathedral on the cold day of the 24th of October, 1273. However, another candidate for the throne, Ottokar II of Bohemia, never acknowledged Rudolf's election. When the new king decreed all lands lost after Frederick II's death to be returned to the crown, depriving Ottokar of vast parts of his land, it became the last straw. The good people of Germany were about to be thrown into yet another war. But whilst Ottokar II was preparing for the clash, the crown had to deal with a much more pressing matter. The first edict of the new king was to wage war against the robber barons, whose activities exploded in the wake of imperial authority during the Great Interregnum, and who committed numerous crimes against the crown, such as stealing ships or kidnapping. If Rudolf I wanted to stand against Ottokar II, he had to deal with the barons first.
Here's one of the in-game cutscenes for you. Okay, and we're thrust straight into battle, which is interesting. No, don't charge that. Okay, whatever. You guys can kill these guys, and then we will charge the archers. And we've been attacked from behind. This is bad, and they get the flanking bonus, as you can see that I was talking about before there. All right, you guys all go charge this. Kill these guys, and then we'll charge the archers. Okay. Charge the archers. It's nice we have cavalry as the Germans, much, much faster. What are these guys? Oh, they're ballistas? Oh no, they're crossbowmen. Okay, and boom. Should have dealt with them. And you can see each of these units has special abilities. Now, the difference in the campaign, the core difference, obviously, as well as the story and the scenarios and all those things that come along with the campaign, is that you have hero units, and these are much, much, much harder to kill. Now, I would like to see, honestly, the hero units in the multiplayer and skirmish as well. I think that would be nice, because, you know, why not? It's nice to have hero units, give them a few cool abilities, allow you to resurrect them, you know, just like Warcraft. That would be cool to see as well. That's not currently there. Maybe for the sake of balance, I don't know. But that's how it works. And so here you go. This is the mission. Right now, we have the units we have. Bring these guys over here. We can replenish them. And we got to go over here and kill 2 bandit camps. And you do that, and then the story progresses and blah, blah, blah. You know how it works, okay? So that's the campaigns. That's how they work. They have cutscenes. They have dialogue. As you would expect, I think it's relatively well handled. I think it's pretty decent. I've been enjoying it a lot. I've done the Viking campaign 1 and 2, and I've done the English campaign, the first English campaign. I haven't finished all the campaigns yet, but so far I've been enjoying them a lot. I really enjoy the skirmish mode versus the AI, and when I can get a multiplayer game, that's been fun as well. You have ranked games obviously up here as well, but you have to unlock those by leveling up. So, that's it. That's Ancestors Legacy. It doesn't break the mold. It doesn't do anything new. It doesn't really change RTS. But it is a good RTS. And it's well made, and it looks great, and it sounds great, it plays well, and it's fun. And in an era where we don't get RTS anymore, I think that's honestly enough. But again, if you don't like RTS, this isn't going to change your mind on the genre. But if you do, I think it's worth sticking on your wish list, maybe picking it up when it's in a sale, see what the development's like. They have been patching this game regularly. They are planning more content coming up. It's a good game, guys. And from a studio where, honestly, I didn't expect them to make anything of quality, it's a really enjoyable game, and I recommend it to you. If you enjoyed this video, please let me know in the comments below. As always, thank you very much for watching, and I will see you guys next time.